think what the Giants did, obviously taking Andrew Thomas fourth overall, they secured the best tackle in this draft. And it's a position that the Giants have needed to address for the future. Look, they brought in Nate Solder via free agency a couple years ago, made him the highest paid left tackle at the time. And I think the offense has just not been as productive as they would have liked, clearly. But Andrew Thomas, here's what I love about him for the Giants. He's the only tackle in this draft coming out that started both right tackle and left tackle and played it at a high level. Think about this. As an 18-year-old kid, he goes to Georgia. His first year there as a true freshman, starts every game at right tackle, becomes an All-American, plays in the bowl game. So he absolutely can do that. Then he segued over in his last 2 years to left tackle, seamlessly transitioned over to that other side. So for the Giants, the fourth overall pick, there were zero question marks about can he play both sides, which is very important for them because they have Nate Solder on the left side. So Andrew Thomas plugs in at right tackle. He's your week one starter, good to go. You saw on the board there Matt Parrott from UConn, a developmental tackle, somebody that they can build for the future. And then I'll add Shane Lemieux, the fifth-round guard from Oregon that they drafted, that I think is going to be their utility guy right out of the gate. He could end up pushing for a start at center, but just a really solid player. Reminds me a lot of Rich Soibert, a buddy of mine that played to my left. Very savvy, very tough. Now, the other wrinkle to this is Jason Garrett. I think having him as the offensive coordinator, when you look at his production in Dallas and what he did with that offense, look, he's the head coach, but he had his all over the offense. The last 6 seasons for the Dallas Cowboys offense, they were top 10 in rushing. 3 out of the last 4 years, they were top 5. So how do you protect your quarterback? Well, give him a damn run game, right? That helps. Saquon Barkley, feed him the football. You're not going to have to worry about all the drop back pressures if you are more physical at the point of attack, if you're running the football better. So think about DeMarco Murray, Zeke Elliott, all the production they've had. Saquon Barkley should have that type of production behind this new offensive line.
Well, Shaun, first and foremost, one thing that you and I and all Giants fans agree on, Richie Soibert, one of the best Giants in history, knowing where he came from, which wasn't very far, and where he got to, which was, of course, a champion. So we all love him. To this answer, though, I think it was telling when before the draft and after it, Dave Gettleman talked about fixing this offensive line once and for all. Later, in a New York Post interview, John Mara used that same language. So, Shaun, I think you're absolutely right. You and I often agree to get the most out of your first-round draft pick 2 years ago, Saquon Barkley, to get the most out of Daniel Jones, the line has to have been fixed.
Well, and I'm also really intrigued to see how Darius Slayton's improvement going in from his first year to second year kind of helps Daniel Jones in his second year as well, the rookie receiver who turned some heads a year ago. Speaking of rookies, they've got one at head coach there in Joe Judge, Kim Jones. So whether it's stylistically on offense or defense or just philosophically as a team, what's the biggest difference that we'll see with Joe Judge leading this Giants team?
I want to get to 3 things, and I'll get to them quickly. I went into that Giants locker room at the end of last season. It was a defeated group in every way, and I know they only won 4 games, but it was more than that. For Judge, he has to instill his culture, and he has talked about that. For one thing, he has told his players, don't make comparisons, don't talk about the Super Bowl. It has to be the ultimate goal, right? But he doesn't want his players just talking. And as far as Daniel Jones goes, I found it interesting. Coach Judge willing to tell us this new offense won't be the same in any way, shape, or form from what he ran as a rookie. In other words, an awful lot has changed in East Rutherford.